Hello, friends. Welcome back to Sunday Shenanigans with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308. And we are here today currently with the Peanut Gallery, hopefully to be joined later by the ASOC Prod Cat. Cat is currently off doing good deeds. So, we must forgive her that.
Figure out an appropriate punishment.
Yes, exactly, because no good deed goes unpunished, and good intentions pave the road to hell. Important pieces of wisdom to remember here on Sunday Shenanigans. We are going to be playing along with Wait, Don't Tell. With Wait, Don't Tell Me, brought to you by NPR. But first, we are going to do today's ad read and talk about the weather and hopefully give Kat enough time to join us. Today's pre-rolls brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, 105 West Main Street, on the downtown mall above the Bricks, Suite 200. A great place to go with some great friends to get some great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. A bud? And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. Don't forget to check the website for times and events, such as Frosty Fridays, where you can find our other two sponsors, Kush Gang, purveyor of fine edibles and drinkables, whose t-shirt I am wearing today, and Firehouse, where there's smoke, there's Firehouse. The website is thehiddenleafcville.com. That's thehiddenleafcville.com. And a note of disclaimer before we get going. This show may talk about some political subjects, and we may have some political opinions. Those opinions belong to us, the expressors of the opinions, the channel, and or the parent company, but do not necessarily belong to any of our sponsors, including Hidden Leaf, Kush Gang, and Firehouse. Also, you may notice that this is a charity live stream for NPR. Because we are going to be using some of their, we're going to be using their material. I feel it only fair to do this as a charity stream for NPR. Also, NPR has recently lost their federal funding and is now a completely publicly funded radio conglomerate, I guess. They are a non-for-profit organization in general and need all the help they can get from listeners like us. Which is why you should not only donate to NPR via this charity stream, but also become a sustaining member of your local NPR station. The biggest and most important reason why you should become a sustaining member of your local NPR station is because it will give you a feeling of moral superiority, because you will be morally superior to those around you who are not members of their local NPR station or donors to their NPR station. And that feeling of moral superiority is one that you can carry around with you all day like a warm, fuzzy feeling. It will make you stand a little taller. It will make your gait a little more confident. It will give you that edge you need in life to get ahead. Not really. But Why not?
If you're feeling down, try a healthy dose of egotism.
Yes. And to get that egotism, donate to your local NPR station. I feel like I don't know if I'm allowed to say whatever I want as long as I say I'm just kidding at the end. But I feel like I'm sort of I don't know if I've heard NPR do that bit exactly. And I feel like they probably need to be careful about saying things like will increase your confidence, or but I feel like I'm allowed to make a bit more broad statements there just because well, because we're not actually affiliated to them in any way. um, we also sell ourselves as comedy, not as news. And we are not journalists. We are members of the press, but we are not journalists. Although I don't know, we may still be covered by certain, need to be careful when we're advertising sort of things.
I'm not sure if you can call me a journalist. I collect them, but I don't write in them.
So you're a journalist, but not a journaler.
I guess so. I'm a journalist in generalist.
Okay, I like that. So, how are you doing on this blustery and overcast day here in the Old Dominion? As we continue to try to waste time until Cat can show up.
Huh. It is overcast.
Yes.
There's a window. I have finally looked out at it.
And it is pretty windy today, too. It's a little warmer than I would expect, but that's, I think, because it's overcast, so that's trapping the heat. But it's windy. It feels like it's the kind of windy that it feels like a hurricane is hitting, uh, is making landfall to the south of us. It has that kind of feel.
It's not walking down to the end of the street, smiling at everybody it meets.
Right.
Because I didn't know it was windy.
You didn't know it was windy? Uh, well, I guess if you haven't looked out a window yet, you wouldn't have seen it.
And it hasn't been windy enough for me to really hear it either.
It may just be blustery. I heard something on NPR last night, a brief thing on the weather talking about high winds today, but they didn't say what it was from. And it was late enough at night that I was not going to go looking it up and setting it aside and thinking about it too hard. I
So you're
remembered it.
saying the weather is currently it's my turn to be interrupted by coughing. Uh, you're saying that the weather is a alt-right podcast, nice and blustery.
Yeah, the weather currently feels like it should be being hosted by oh god, what's his name? It's all of a sudden escaping me. I've got a picture of him in my head, but I cannot get to the name.
No need to rush to it.
Oh, not that guy though. No, the guy who's on now, who's just kind of thick and smokes weed and cigars on his podcast.
I have no idea.
I feel like the differences between us is that I don't just agree with my guests. I tend to try to push back against them. I don't smoke cigars, and I have hair. Oh, that reminds me of something. Not the hair. I went to the fall festival in the nearby town of Palmyra yesterday, and ran into someone running for local school board whomst we meant to get on the show and interview. Sarah Johnson, who is, I think, I don't know if she's affiliated with the Democratic Party. Her yard signs are purple. She might be independent, but she is certainly not on the right. Her platform is about transparency in the schools, funding for teacher pay, funding for the schools in general. I wish I had her thing here with me, but she's a very she got, I think, if I remember correctly, the brief conversation I had with her, she's got kids in the school system, and she got worried about it when she saw the direction things were going, and got involved, and is getting involved. I'm hoping to get her on the show soon. We have contact information for her. We just need to reach back out and get in touch with her. She was, I think that she will be a good choice for the local Palmyra, Fluvanna area school board. That opinion is brought to you by me. That just from just the feeling I get from meeting her now twice and talking to her, I think that she is a good choice for the local school board.
So you would be on board with her election?
Yes. I am throwing my support behind her. I'm not going to tell my audience who to vote for. And seeing as how we have I don't believe we have very many audience members in the Fluvanna area. I don't feel like we are, I don't feel like endorsing her does much good for her. And when I was talking to her about the interview, I said, yeah, This is going to be much better for us than it is for you. You know, we have no, there is no viewership in this area really, but you'll be doing us a favor, you know. I think she appreciated that honesty, you know, the like, the better for us than for you. But so yeah, I endorse Sarah Johnson for school board. I will be putting her yard sign up later today. Um, you know, again, I don't know if an endorsement from Trevor Stewart 1308 or, you know, an endorsement from Nickwork Entertainment or Nestor Industries really does anything. But I endorse her candidacy. Um, so yeah, that's the local political news. Still trying to waste time until Kat shows up.
We are attempting to commit chronocide.
Yes, chronocide. Killing time? It's bad enough to waste time, but to downright kill it, that's just mean.
Watchdog.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if that's the actual line, but that's as close as I can remember to it. Given the 20 to 30 years since last I encountered the line.
And what's it from?
Phantom Tollbooth.
Okay. I think it was much more vehement because the watchdog absolutely hated the idea of wasting time. I'm pretty sure
Well,
he would attack someone for killing time.
because he kept time.
Yes.
Because he was a watchdog.
And his biggest rival in the group was the humbug.
Yes. The humbug who was against everything.
Yep. Well, unless it was moving sands on the beach one at a time.
Yeah, there was that. Um, I my first role on stage in a production was as the machinery inside the toll booth. I have no idea how old I was. I must have been, I mean, I had to be older than like 4, but I couldn't have been much older than like 6 because I had to fit into a very small space while someone else played the toll booth itself. But yeah, that was my first time on stage. Oddly enough, it would not be the last time I played machinery. In 1995, I want to say it was 1995. The summer of, Uh, I I was the assistant stage manager for the local theater production of La Cage aux Folles. Uh, and uh, one of my jobs. Okay, so because this is such a big, I mean, it's a drag show. It is a drag show. La Cage aux Folles is a drag show. And if you're going to do a drag show in theater, you got to go huge. All the way down to, you know, moving stage, a stage that moves. My job was to one of my jobs was to climb under the main stage and move the moving stage.
You played Machinery twice.
Yep.
One might even say that your acting career was geared towards it.
I mean, I definitely felt like I was a cog in a machine.
So you were cognizant of it.
Yep. Uh,
Didn't feel like that you were boxed in.
oh,
Didn't grind your
man.
gears.
So is a thinking machine cognizant? I I
Only if they're just on the edge, then they are truly cognizant.
cognizant. Cute, cute. I need to write this one down. Cute, cute. Well, we have wasted some time. Oh, anything in the news we want to talk about? Anything? Oh, I mean, there was some stuff in the news that we didn't bring up yesterday. Uh, so, a couple of big things going on is troop movements inside the U.S. and troop deployments to blue cities. Uh, and I find that personally horrifying. Like, if I think too hard about it, I'm terrified, which is why I have to laugh about it. But you notice, like, right after he did that, and, right after the troops that have been in some of these cities start getting a little riled up, you know, you notice Israel was on board with that peace agreement real quick. Benjamin Netanyahu was like, oh, he's angry and he's starting to hurt people. Yeah, sure. We agree to this. Sure. Peace. Yeah, peace. We're down with that. Peace. Going, I don't want Trump sending troops in here. Look what he's doing to his own people. What's he going to do to us? That's my take on why the peace agreement is in Gaza is happening now, the ceasefire. Anything from the peanut gallery?
Well,
Nope.
if that happens, then what's their new dog whistle going to be since they're going to lose the anti-Semitic thing?
Oh, they're not going to lose the anti-Semitic thing. Are you kidding? They're still very anti-Semitic. They still and
Yes, yes, they are.
they still want a Zionist Israel. They still want all of the Jews in Zion so they can have their little holy war.
No, I was thinking more along the U.S. supporters.
How are the US supporters gonna be anti-Semitic without the Gaza war going on?
Remember their cover for a number of the college students was they were being anti-Semitic for speaking out against Israel.
Oh yeah. Speaking out
So
against
now
that.
what's their dog whistle going to be?
Oh, the next dog whistle is they are being anti-American. They're not true patriots. They're not American. They're being anti-patriotic. They're gonna move to, and they're already moving to. They've moved to this idea that it's that well, Trump has repeatedly said enemy within, referring to referring to leftist ideas, is trying to make Antifa itself a terrorist organization, which is, as everybody has been pointing out, a ridiculous idea because Antifa is not organized in any way. It's not an organized ideology. It's not an organized organization. It's not. It's not cohesive. There's no what Antifa is a set of behaviors, and those behaviors are defined by being against fascism. So that includes anything that is against fascism. So to declare anything against fascism as a terrorist organization is both logically ridiculous and
Criminally insane.
an integral part of the playbook. It's one of those double think moves, double think, double speak moves, where by doing this, you cast all of these organizations into doubt that while they aren't associated with anything necessarily, they are, because they're considered left wing, they are part of that terrorist ideology of anti fascism. And those organizations end up being organizations like NPR, organizations like the Associated Press, organizations like colleges and universities. Any organization that is not directly espousing the party line becomes suspect of being terrorist under this definition. So that's the new dog whistle. Is the enemy within, of which we are part, by the way. By their standards, we are part of the enemy within. Some of it being that we are free press, Some of it being that I am outside the boundaries of normal and you guys associate with me. Outside the boundaries of acceptably normal.
How dare you, sir? How dare you
What?
attempt to accuse them of having standards?
Ha! They do, though. They do. They do. And it feels really weird, but they do. You sneak in above their standards. You're just in above their standards. Partially, mostly because you identify as independent. If you'd identified as on the left, leftist, or any of those like I do, you'd they would just you wouldn't fall into their standards. But because you're an independent, they they want your vote because they think they can convince you that independent means supporting them against the system that was, thinking that you don't hold personal liberties above winning the culture war. That's where a lot of independents get, in my opinion, grifted. They are sold that they are losing the culture war, and that to win the culture war, they need to give up their their platform's baseline, which is personal freedoms. If independents were truly independent and thought for a moment about the culture war, a lot of it would disappear, because personal liberties include the personal liberty to identify as male, female, something in between, and not have the state tell you what you are. Also, personal liberties would include things like being able to love and live with whoever you want. That's up to you. State can't tell you who you gonna love. That's not a very independent personal liberties thing to sign up to. I think if a lot of independents were more honest with themselves, they would see that it's not the culture war is not divided where they think it is. That they, if they truly believe in what they espouse, they are on the side of the culture war that they're fighting against. They would be on the side of the culture war that they're fighting against. I think that for the right, on the right, the culture war is a very solid, rallying cry. Because it is, because the left, the people on the left who are fighting just to exist, are going to continue to fight to exist. So the people fighting against them in the culture war will constantly have an opponent to push back against. And that's going to be That's part of why I think it's going to be hard for those of us in the culture war on this side who are queer, you know, and extremely community oriented, extremely oriented towards the well-being of the populace, are going to continuously be on our back foot because we will continuously be defending against and defend, not just defending against, but debating our own existence in defense against this this reactionary pushback against us, claiming that we are infringing upon their rights whilst trying to completely remove any right of us to exist. And this is the double think that is encapsulated in this double speak about the enemy within, and anti-fascist ideals being a terrorist organization. Also, I think the other dog whistle is going to continue to be around immigration. Just because immigration is an easy thing to blame. Even if the problems espoused to it are not, don't actually connect to it. It's easy to go saying blame the outsiders for what's wrong with society. Kick the outsiders out because they're wrong. When that's completely untrue.
I've got a fun way to look at that one.
Go for it.
So, what was one of the main reasons Trump got elected?
Immigration.
Because he was not an insider. Therefore, specifically an outsider. So kick the outsiders out.
Yes, I agree. He's a political immigrant. I agree. Oh, man. So, that brings up something for me that was hard to hear. So, the leader of the Venezuelan opposition got awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, right? That's pretty cool. She's been in hiding in her own country for a couple of years now, I think. Something like that. She has been pushing back hard against Nicolas Maduro. When she got the Nobel Peace Prize, her first thing that she did was accepted it on behalf of the Venezuelan people and told Nicolas Maduro that he needs to give up power, that he's not the leader of Venezuela. He doesn't have popular support, even if he's got the military. He just needs to give up, and that they're going to keep pressuring him until he does. But the second thing she did was thank Trump for blowing up those boats that he claimed were carrying drugs that we have no proof of were carrying drugs. She thanked him for extrajudicial killings. She thanked him for murder because it's pushing back against Nicolas Maduro, and it's, you know, she thanked Trump for his support. Now, I sort of see why, because he was starting to get a little cranky about not having won the Nobel Peace Prize, even though he wasn't nominated near in time. And, I mean, we have to look at everything else around what he's done. But, so, I mean, yeah, I could see her doing that just to kind of, like, keep him from getting too testy. But also, like, she didn't have to thank him for those extrajudicial killings, which really, I worry is really going to encourage him to keep doing that kind of crap, to step it up. It's like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. But once they've given that medal out, they can't take it back. I feel like you get to see who somebody really is after they get the Nobel medal, the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, yeah, I think that's when you get to see who somebody really is. I really think the person who should be winning the Peace Prize is Greta Thunberg. That's my nomination. I have strong opinions on this. Is that all you have to add? Be-do-do.
Oh, that was Pat saying she might be making it in sometime soon.
Ah. Well, we've wasted almost a full hour. Let's see, is there anything else in the news that I wanted to bring up? Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think we may have to start the game without her. Are you ready?
C'est la vie.
Say la vie. See, there, I said la vie. All right, well, have you your pencil and paper?
Oh, but I have a pen.
And paper?
And something to write on, yes.
Okay. Well, then let us get this started. Today's episode with Taimane. Taimane? We'll find out how to pronounce it later. Have you clicked on the link?
This message comes from Vital Farms, who
Can
works
you
with small
hear it?
American farms to bring you pasture-raised eggs. Click the play button to hear from pasture-raised egg farmer Tanner Pace, who shares
for
the
it.
sights and sounds he and his hens
Forget it.
experience on the rolling
All right.
hills of his family farm in southern Missouri.
This message comes from Data IQ. Companies can struggle. From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm the man they call when Bills had too many Mai Tais. I'm Alzo Slade, and here's your host at the Blaisdell Concert Hall in Honolulu, Hawaii, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Alzo. Thank you, everybody. Yes, thank you all so much. We are so glad to be doing our show here in Hawaii, and we are really glad we bought the plane tickets before we lost our federal funding. Later on, we are going to be talking to ukulele superstar Taimane, who got her start busking right here in the streets of Waikiki. But first, we want to hear what tune you're playing. Give us a call. The number is 1-888. Wait, that's 1-888-924-8924. Now let's welcome our first listener contestant. Hi, you are on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, this is Sydney calling from Olympia, Washington.
I love Olympia, one of my favorite places, capital of the state. What do you do there?
I like to swim in the Puget Sound, and I take care of my pet shrimp, and I work for the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Okay, let me, if I may, rewind
tracks.
a moment. Shrimp as pets? Are they, I've never heard of that. Are they fun pets? Do they like cuddle with you when you're sad?
I think so. They like to swim around. They're fun to watch zip by.
Right. So you think as they're swimming around in their tank that they have warm feelings for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You've never had a shrimp pet, Peter. You don't know.
I don't know what it's like. No, I've had shrimp, but in a different context. Well, Sydney, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to our panel with us here in Honolulu this week. First up, it's a comedian whose special Love Joy is on Peacock and whose album Yell Joy is available everywhere. It's Joyelle Nicole Johnson.
Hello,
Hi, Joyelle.
Sydney.
Next up, an actor and writer who can be seen in the improv show Two Square at the Cold Town Theater in Austin, Texas, October 17th and 18th. It's our friend Peter Gross.
Hello.
Hey, Peter.
Hi, Sydney.
And a comedian who will be in Alexandria, Virginia at the Birchmere on November 21st and 22nd, and host of the weekly podcast Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. It's Paula Poundstone.
Hi, Paula.
It's not
Paula's
a pet,
one of my
but I do
favorite.
have a comfort mosquito.
Well, Sydney, welcome to the show. You're going to play Who's Alzo this time. Alzo Slade, filling in for Bill Curtis, is going to read you 3 quotations from this week's news. If you can correctly identify or explain just 2 of them, you'll win our prize. Any voice from our show you might choose in your voicemail. You ready to go?
Yes.
All right, your first quote is a statement from Nashville International Airport.
Pilots, have patience. Passengers, expect delays.
This is in response to the many airport closures and delays happening around the country due to what?
The shutdown.
The
government
government shutdown?
The government shutdown. Yes, you're right. It's okay, you're applauding for her, not the shutdown.
Yes.
It's all right. Even though airport disruptions are being caused by unpaid government employees just not showing up for work, the FAA says there's nothing to worry about as long as you and all of your coworkers didn't just fly to the only state in the union you can't drive home from. It started in just 1 or 2 airports, and now it's spreading. The delays and cancellations are getting so bad that the only way to get to another state is to sign up for your own state's National Guard and wait to be deployed there.
Who knew that not paying people would make them not want to work?
I know, strange. One real thing we learned about this week, some airports like Burbank in California are operating in a condition called Air Traffic Control Zero. It's a real thing, and that's a system they put in place where instead of the tower, because there's nobody in the tower, pilots just talk to each other to keep from running into each other and to help land their planes, right?
Okay, but we do that in our cars all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, we do.
Just yelling out the window,
Right.
you go.
Yeah, right. No, just
Look
you
at
know.
this idiot. Go,
Yeah,
go,
right,
just
exactly.
go,
Yeah.
go.
Go.
But on the other hand,
Go,
you really
go,
don't
go.
get caught.
What was that?
A middle finger is not a turn signal.
Can be. Depends on how you use it.
situation where the pilots are like, okay, you land. No, you land first.
After you.
No, you land.
you.
Okay, we'll both land at the same time. Ready?
Well, the other day we're like, sometimes we're like, is there a doctor on the plane? They might be like, is there an air traffic controller on the plane who wants to just like help us not hit another plane?
All right, your next quote is a pop superstar singing about a certain attribute of her famous fiancé.
Do I really have to read this
Yes,
quote?
yes, Aldo.
All right. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see.
So that's a lyric everybody's talking about from whose new album that came out
Taylor
last week?
Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift's, yes. Her new
It
album
did
came out,
not
Lives of the Showgirl,
get
when they're not
good
talking about how
reviews.
kind of mad the rest of the album is. Everybody is talking about how suggestive her song Wood is. Wood. The wood in question is not wood as in tree. It's wood as in I would prefer not to hear her sing about Travis Kelce's junk.
It's a real. I listened to that today, and it's a real lesson in single entendre.
It really is.
Not the most clever.
Yeah, I also don't know if it's a compliment to have your attribute compared to a redwood. Nobody wants to hear like your thing. It's 600 years old and endangered.
And you can drive a car through it. I don't think this
Yeah.
holds up.
I mean, one of the questions is,
The problem
she's
is
the
all
biggest
her
star
other
in the
albums
world.
have been
She's
about
done this.
breakups.
Is this going to create
Right.
pressure on all the
Right, exactly. All of her other albums have been about breakups. Of course, this album is gonna be sort of sappy and have a hard time because it doesn't, like, she's happy. I mean, if Travis Kelce is built like that, then she's very happy. And it's hard to write really moving, touching, connecting music when you're that happy.
pop stars now? You know, it's like, hey, honey, love your new album, but where's the song about my junk?
I mean, until she turns on him and then is like, the cover of her next album is her with an axe chopping down a redwood.
Oh, she's setting it up. She's going to knock it down.
She's been in love before.
Yeah, I also want to say shout out to Travis for doing his job, okay? Because he's a billionaire.
Right.
That's the only thing she needs from him. And he putting it down, and you better write a song about it, girl.
Yeah.
I foolishly thought you meant playing football.
Sydney, are you still with us? Because it's been a while. Sydney, are you out there?
I'm here.
Oh, I'm so glad. Sydney, your last quote is a warning about this year's Halloween candy.
The M&Ms were filled with berry-flavored peanut butter.
That was a reporter from The Atlantic noting one-way candy makers are compensating for a major shortage of what this year?
I don't know. Can you
Sugar?
give me a hint,
Peanut
please?
butter?
What are
Peanut butter.
M&Ms normally filled with?
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate, yes.
Chocolate.
A very bad cocoa harvest means chocolate is very expensive right now, so candy makers are swapping in non-chocolate ingredients for this year's Halloween candy. M&M's has a whole new, this is real, bakery collection with non-chocolate flavors like lemon meringue pie and peanut butter cinnamon roll and the newest flavor, day-old bagel.
It'd be like M&M's puts in like old Snickers, like just stuff that they found around and they were had to put inside.
I'm gonna be honest, I never thought that was really chocolate in there anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was
It's
plastic.
like the berry. It's whatever they put in Subway bread.
And the meat.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is going to do to Halloween because all the kids I know really like chocolate. This is going to be the first Halloween where kids are going to say trick or treat, and also I'd like a receipt in case I want to return it.
Last year, I ran out of candy.
You did.
And we don't usually get that many kids where I live. And but for some reason we did last year. And
Well,
I
you
was
should move out of that haunted old castle high on the hill, Paula.
I ended up, like they kept coming. And so I just, opened the refrigerator And, I'd like take a big scoop of hummus and just flick it into Spider-Man's pillowcase.
Yeah. I had a little cousin who, from a baby, didn't like chocolate, but she would open the refrigerator when she was 2, she was a toddler, and we'd see little fingerprints in the butter. She would eat butter. I would have hated chocolate.
I was a butter eater. When I
butter
turned
eater?
4, my parents gave me a pound of butter.
As a
As
present.
a gift?
Yeah, birthday present, and I just ate the sticks like candy bars.
Oh my God.
And I feel good.
Yeah.
You feel good.
I had a heart attack when I was 5.
Also, how did Cindy do in our quiz?
Beautifully, 3 out of 3.
Congratulations, Sydney. Thank you so much for playing, Sydney.
This was so fun. Thank you so much.
Right now, panel, it is time for you to answer some questions about this week's news. Peter, in a daring new plan to make up for the government funding cuts, a PBS affiliate announced it would be auctioning off what?
Grover.
No.
I mean, it's coming. Auctioning off tote bags that someone touched. I don't know. I'll take a hint.
Well, appraisers say that each happy little tree is worth about 10
Oh,
grand.
Bob Ross's
Ross
paintings.
paintings?
Bob Ross paintings. A public TV distribution company
That
is
makes
raising
sense.
money by auctioning off 30 Bob Ross original oil paintings, including his masterpieces, Happy Little Forest, Snowy Mountaintop, and nude self-portrait with Happy Big Redwood. It's really weird. It's really weird they're selling these paintings. Didn't you always assume they just threw them away after they finished taping?
I always wondered what they did with them.
Yeah.
And I thought that there was like a Indiana Jones style
Style
warehouse of just like thousands and
now
thousands.
we know
So if this
there
works, of course,
is.
they're going to do more things like that. Next, they'll be funding the distribution of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood by auctioning off his cardigans. Then they'll sell Big Bird's eggs. Then neighborly for one lucky auction winner, A Night of Passion with Ken Burns.
That takes,
Narrated by Sam Waterston.
and it takes 12 hours.
Coming up, our panelists send their greetings in our Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR. Subscriptions are committed. This experience how Grammarly
Did mattresses Taylor ER. That's LE flexible. It's about staying.
From NPR and WBEZ Chicago, this is Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR News Quiz. I'm Alzo Slade. We're playing this week with Peter Gross, Paula Poundstone, and Joelle Nicole Johnson. And here again is your host at the Blaisdell Concert Hall in Honolulu, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Alzo Slade. Right now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Right now, it's time for the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me Bluff the Listener game. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to play our game in the air. Hi, you are on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hi, Peter. This is Alexandra from Maui, Hawaii.
Hey, Maui.
Hey. Hi, Alexandra.
What do you do there on Maui?
I'm a tattooer here in Kihei at Paradise Tattoo.
Oh, wow. Kihei, I know. Been there many a time. I was wondering about this because I saw a tattoo parlor here in Honolulu, and I wondered, is your clientele Islanders, Hawaiians, or is it like lots of tourists who are just so taken with the place, they come in and get your sea turtle or something like that?
It's definitely a mix, but sea turtles do pay my bills.
Really? That's the thing.
I believe it.
Well, welcome to the show, Alexandra. It's great to have you on. You're going to play the game in which you have to tell truth from fiction. Also, what's the topic?
There's havoc at Hallmark.
So Hallmark, you know them, they're known for their heartwarming movies and their greeting cards that somehow know exactly what to say when your uncle retires. Well, this week, instead of good tidings, we heard about a controversy brewing at Hallmark. Our panel is going to tell you about it. Pick the one who's telling the truth. You win the Wait Waiter of your choice on your voicemail. You ready to play?
Yes.
All right, first let's hear from Joelle Nicole Johnson.
Most greeting cards simply say, get well soon, or happy birthday. But the mahogany section of Hallmark greeting cards puts the black back in salutations. That's right. There's a section of Hallmark greeting cards just for black folks with titles such as, "You got all that black excellence, fam." And of course, you're an everyday reminder of "Ain't God good?" Hallmark introduced this niche years ago, but the brand went viral after a recent interview with H&G Magazine. Turns out the creator and head scribe of the slang is Cody Beckwith of Springfield, Illinois, a whole white man. Cody is a self-described redhead, corn-fed friend of Dorothy. That is Mrs. Dorothy Thomas, his next-door neighbor who practically raised him and is very black. Beckwith credits Miss Thomas for everything he knows. Without her, his face will be way less moisturized. When asked for comment, Miss Dorothy said, "Cody always been invited to the cookout, especially because I taught him how to wash his chicken before he cooks it."
Turns out the Mahogany line of greeting cards for a black clientele was created by this white guy from Springfield, Illinois. Your next Hallmark remark comes from Peter Gross.
Some of the best recent Hollywood films have captured a gritty, nuanced realism. Movies like Nomadland, Uncut Gems, and The Secret Life of Pets 2. Other films missed the mark. This week, the Hallmark Channel announced their new romantic comedy, Adventures in Love and Birding. It's about a single mother who falls in love with an avid birder, but apparently the creators of the movie fell in love with inaccurate details about birds. Even the poster of the movie is inaccurate, with one person commenting, "I wonder what those two male varied thrushes are talking about." Cry laughing emoji. Get it? Because I sure don't. One member of an LA birding community group was furious at the main character's binoculars, commenting, "If this guy's a real birder, he would not have those binoculars. Those binoculars are like poroprisms. They are very beginner level." Yikes. I would say somebody needs to get out more, but birders are outside all the time, so that doesn't really apply. As tempting as it is to make fun of them, I imagine I would feel this way if somebody tried to make a Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me movie, and they had the panelists talking into a Neumann TLM 103 microphone as opposed to a Shure SM7B. I mean, can you imagine?
Careful where you go about those audio guys.
Angers the birding community. Your last wholesome controversy comes from Paula Poundstone.
Birthday girl, 13-year-old Janie Winchell of Lincoln, Massachusetts, tore open the envelope of a Hallmark card that accompanied a brightly wrapped six-pack of flavored lip gloss, gifted from a friend. The front of the card had a picture of a young girl's face covered in a thick facial mask, and inside the card, in large balloon font, were the words, "Congratulations, you're old." When I saw the card, I was outraged, said Janie's mother, Candace Winchell. I checked out Hallmark's website and found that this horrible card is part of a new line of cards that are just disturbing. On one, a black and white photo of a bedraggled-looking girl leading a donkey by a rope opens to reveal the words, "Get your ass moving, 14 is coming." Another bears a cover photo of a young girl walking a dirt road surrounded by wildflowers, and on the inside says, "Do something good this year. Your regret box is almost full." One cover bears the words, "Age is just a number," and inside is a photograph of a slack-jawed preteen with a word bubble saying, "But oh my God!"
All right. So, Alexandra, there was controversy at Hallmark this week. Was it from Jael Nicole Johnson, the Mahogany line of cards for a black audience, turns out were created by this red-haired white guy who just channeled his neighbor, from Peter Gross, a birding romance in which the birding community did not fall in love with, or
I'm going
from
with,
Paula Poundstone, a line
of
with birthday
one.
cards for 13-year-olds
I'm going with
implying
A.
they're getting old. Which of these was the real story out of Hallmark this week?
Well, I know birders do take birds very seriously.
They do.
So
Audience seems to agree with
You're
you.
going to go with B. You're going to go with Peter's story about the birding movie that angered the birders. All right. Well, here's somebody with some insight into the real story.
The Hallmark Channel released the poster, and immediately birders had a lot of comments and critiques for how the birds were being portrayed in the poster.
That was Antonia Cerejito, a host at LAS, who reported on the real story, the birding movie that the birders did not like. Congratulations, Alexandria. You got it right. You earned a point for Peter Gross. You've won our prize, the voice of your choice, in your voicemail.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for playing with us today.
What?
I don't want to be rude, but I really want to give you the bird right now.
Well, I mean, you could just tweet about it.
I don't know. I consider that platform my ex.
You feel like its time has flown.
It just feels pretty foul right now.
I argue it always felt foul. Ever since the first pitch.
Really stretching this out.
We really are. I was waiting to see if you could come up with a baseball one.
No, I struck out.
Oh. I don't know. I felt like I lobbed you a softball there.
We don't need to go the extra innings. Damn it.
If you'd caught it, that would have been a double play.
I'm trying hard to stop my innate reaction to continue to pun.
Okay. I'll press play.
Thank you.
Without any further rain delay.
All right.
We'll be together like birds of a feather, love. Some things are meant to be.
She was discovered by the legendary Don Ho himself. She's not my job. In Hawaii, the ukulele is the king of instruments, and our guest Taimane is ukulele royalty. She started busking on the streets of Honolulu at the age of 5, where she was discovered by the legendary Don Ho himself. She's since been named Hawaiian Performer of the Year, among many other honors. Taimane, welcome to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. We got to get this settled. We were talking before. The correct Hawaiian pronunciation of the instrument of which you are a master is ukulele.
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 Lele.
You got it. Ukulele.
How about if you
say that again also?
Give it the appropriate, respectful name, and I just continue to screw it up, because that's.
You know, we could do that for probably like 10 to 15 minutes.
We can do that. We can do that. That's really great. So, you and I mentioned this started playing the ukulele at a very young age, right?
Yes, I started when I was 5 years old. I'm born and raised here in Honolulu, Hawaii, and it's kind of a very common, 808. But it's a very common instrument here in the islands, almost like how a guitar, is in every house. The ukulele is in almost every house here in the islands.
And did you was that like something you were drawn to, or you just like somebody could put one of these in your hand?
Yeah, well, I loved performing. Even before getting this when I was 5, I would put shows together for my dog and my parents in my house. And I just loved being on stage. I loved making people happy. And so my dad gave me my very first ukulele when I was 5. Again, it's just a very common instrument here in Hawaii. And it was just the instrument that I grew up learning how to express myself.
Right.
And I so happen to love classical music, metal music, but it's all played on this instrument.
Well, I want to get to that because that's one of the things you're known for. But you were busking. You were out on the streets at 5. You went out with your father?
I started actually when I was 7, a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
But
That's a very reasonable age to send your child out onto the streets to try to make money.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, I had a hard work ethic back in the day, and so I started playing on the streets of Kalakaua Avenue.
Right, that's the big commercial district
Yep.
in Waikiki with all the big shops on it and restaurants, tourists walking up and down all night.
Exactly, I loved it, and I kept doing it until the age of 13.
Wow.
And that's where one of the singers from the Don Ho show saw me playing, was on the streets of Waikiki.
Yeah.
And so I got to meet Uncle Don. I like to call him Uncle Don.
Sure.
I like to call him Uncle Don.
Right, Uncle Don.
my
and he really, he took me under his wing and, really showed me the ropes of how much it takes to put on a show.
Right.
And so I was with him for 5 years until his passing, and he really just introduced me to Waikiki, and then from there I started touring all over the world because the ukulele, everyone loves the ukulele.
That
all
is
over the
absolutely
world.
true. It's absolutely true. I've never met anybody. I will say, though, that there are certain stereotypes. It's something that people play when they can't really play and they just want to, be amusing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which of these annoys you most?
You know, it doesn't actually annoy me.
Really?
I like to use it to my advantage.
How so?
Because people don't expect much of you when you say you play the ukulele. Like, okay, that's cute,
Yeah.
but what do you actually do? But I love to go into that with that expectation or lack of, and then change that mind frame.
Right.
And that's what I like.
That's pretty cool.
So you're like a pool shark.
I guess.
Oh, how do you play this thing? Yeah, exactly. So it is true that one of the things you've done is you've really expanded people's understanding of what a ukulele can do, and I was hoping you could kind of demonstrate, because you're known, for example, for some remarkable covers. You just put out a cover of Joni Mitchell's Big Yellow Taxi.
I did.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so is there anything people would not expect to hear somebody play really well on a ukulele that you love to play for them?
I just started working on a cover of the Addams Family, but in minor key.
Oh.
A minor, more mournful, thoughtful key.
Yes.
Right. Can
I'm a
you have
minor.
you?
You guys, I want to.
I want to hear the.
I haven't played it yet,
So this is the theme to the Addams Family.
Haven't
in a
played
minor
it.
key on the ukulele.
Just learned it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, this is the hard part. Hold on. I'm working on it.
So the toccata is the hard part.
I'm
Really,
a little
truly
close. I
great,
thought you
Paula.
were going to do Smoke on the Water or something, but no. Can you do that?
Hey.
You
All
really
right,
challenged
all
her
right,
there,
you're setting us
Peter.
up.
Everybody can
Wow,
do
you
Smoke
can do
on
the
the
thing
Water.
that beginning guitar players play when they pick up a guitar at the Guitar Center? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Stairway.
Nice.
Wow. Well, Taimane, we have asked you here to play a game we're calling
Mini guitar meet mini golf.
So,
Okay.
you like smaller instruments. We thought we'd ask you about the tiny version of golf, miniature golf. Answer 2 to 3 questions correctly, you'll win our prize for one of our listeners. Also, who is Taimane playing for?
Jim Joplin of Lawton, Oklahoma.
All right.
All right, Oklahoma.
All right.
And they just love the ukulele in Oklahoma. So here's your first question.
Okay.
Most historians agree that miniature golf was invented in Scotland in the 1860s for one very specific reason. What was it? A, it was made for women who weren't allowed to play real golf because it was considered improper for them to raise their arms above their shoulders. B, a local aristocrat said, love the game, but can we do without all that walking? Or C, so a notorious sports gambler could win a bet that he could finish a whole round of golf in half an hour.
Oh gosh, you know, I'm not much of a walker myself, so
Yeah, I'm going A as well.
I'd love to say B.
But C sounds really...
B's maybe not the
Yeah.
vibe.
No.
C sounds really convincing
Not the
too, but I'm
vibe.
going A.
You know, there's other, you know, I'm just getting this feeling of A.
Hey.
Hey.
It is A. Yes, it's A. Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Apparently, back in Victorian Scotland, you couldn't have ladies scandalizing society by showing their pits.
When in doubt, go with misogyny.
Exactly.
Got it.
All right, that was very good.
yeah.
Now, back in the early days, mini golf courses used to be different than they are today. How so? Was it A, instead of mechanical obstacles like windmills, children were hired to leap onto the course and swat away your ball? B, instead of hitting your ball into the mouth of a fake clown in the last hole, you do it to a real clown? Or C, instead of turf, the surfaces were made of goat hair dyed green?
I'm going with C.
You know, I just keep getting these feelings.
Finally, vibes, these feelings. Where does it come?
You know,
The spirit of aloha.
You know, I'm going to go with like the ocean, like the sea.
The sea, wise choice being Hawaii. Yes, it was C.
Yeah.
Dyed goat hair
Wow.
was the surface of choice. This was before AstroTurf, of course. Last question.
Yeah.
You can play thousands of mini golf courses around the world, including in some unusual places, like which of these? On the lip of a volcano in Stromboli, Italy, with real lava providing some of the obstacles.
Ooh.
B, 400 feet underground in an abandoned Transylvanian salt mine. Or C, on the roof of the second tallest building in Dubai, where if your ball goes out of bounds, it really goes out of bounds.
I'm going with C. You think B?
I'm going to go with B.
You're going to go with the Transylvanian salt mine. You're right. It is called...
Wow.
It is called Salina Turda, and it's got a whole amusement park down there along with the mini golf. It's the most popular underground tourist attraction
I want to
in the
go there
world.
now.
What's it called?
Salina Turda. No smart remarks, Paula. Also, how did Taimane do on our
I like
quiz?
to think all of...
She's got the vibes. 3 out of 3.
There you go.
I like to think all of Paula's comments are smart.
Taimane is a singer-songwriter and one of the world's most celebrated ukulele players. For tour dates, head to taimane.com/live. Taimane. Taimane, everybody, give it up.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. In just a minute, Alzo reveals his worst nightmare has a food court in the Listener Limber Challenge. Call 1-888-WAIT-WAIT to join us in the air. We'll be back in a minute with more of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me from NPR.
This message comes from Jackson. Let's face it, retirement planning.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I recently found out that some of those salt mines are darned impressive.
Yeah? How impressive is darned impressive? Give us a comparison here.
Give me a couple moments to look the darn thing back up, and I'll show you some pictures.
All right. Cheese and crackers. Think I have a cat hair somewhere in my throat that's making me cough. It's been like this all morning. It's a very dry, not from the lungs cough. It's very much in the throat. Let's switch back over to take a look. Oh. Joe Rogan, that was the name I was trying to come up with.
That was Joe Rogan.
Yeah. But Rogan was what I was trying to come up with earlier. Hi. I live with 3 cats, 2 of which have a tendency to sleep with me. Of course I've got cat hair in my throat. Well, shall we keep going with the game until you can find that picture? Come back to that at the end.
If you want to look at it, I just posted a link to the UNESCO website.
Ah, there it is. All right. Oh, wow. Okay.
When they say an entire amusement park, that's including going to be roller coasters now, because they get that big.
Wow. All right. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. All right, we gotta go visit this.
Now just imagine going down in a hand-cranked elevator with a headlamp and seeing this by torchlight.
Yes. Oh, I would love that. That would make my life. Oh, this is my kind of fun.
On cathedrals down there since the workers lived in the mine.
Right, that would make sense. Beautiful. Oh, I bet the air was so easy to breathe. Bet you it was very dry down there.
But I don't think I'd be able to work with those people, always so angry.
Salty?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much skin moisturizer you'd have to go through, though? The air would just be pulling all of the moisture out of your... Oh, that's fun. Out of your skin all the time. Yeah, we gotta... That would be one heck of a field trip, huh? Hey, cat. You're here.
I is here, sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah, sort of. I'm driving, so.
Okay, but you're here.
Yeah.
We've been invaded by a Tamagotchi, a digital cat.
Yeah.
Basically. Very, very much so, basically. And y'all are planning a field trip to the Polish salt mine?
It looks like, I mean, planning might be a strong word, but definitely considering.
Oh, yeah.
It has been put on the bucket list.
Yeah. I still.
Thing is, that's why I need to see if I got relatives near there.
I wouldn't be surprised if I have relatives near there. I come from the Pulaski line, so I feel like there are Pulaskis in a decent amount of Poland, but the one I actually want to go to, the salt mine I actually want to go to, is the Transylvanian one. Partially because I really want to go to Transylvania. Well, all right. We are gonna go ahead and get back to the game.
All right, you get back to the game. I'm going to mute so my car noise doesn't interfere.
All right.
Planning can be confusing. At Jackson, we're work from Jackson. What is the fee and HR?
Give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT.
And here again is your host at the Blaisdell Concert Hall in Honolulu, Peter Sagal.
Thank you, Alzo. Thank you, everybody. In just a minute, we go somewhere over the Rainbow in our Listener Limerick Challenge game. If you'd like to play, give us a call at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. Right now,
but
panel,
because
some more
it's a
questions
Hawaii
for you
thing.
from the week's news. Joyelle, this week the AP reported that, contrary to common wisdom, it's perfectly okay for couples to do what?
Sleep in separate bedrooms?
No.
Vacation separately?
No. No, this is like, I'm sure anybody who's ever been married or get into a serious relationship has been given this advice about you and your partner.
Go to bed mad.
Don't do it, right?
Go to bed mad?
Right. That's the advice. Don't go to bed angry. You have heard that. Have you heard that?
I have heard that.
You have.
Before.
Everybody's heard that. Don't go to bed angry. Well, experts say it's often much wiser to let your dispute sit till the morning. That's why, right before turning off the light, in my life, I always say to my wife, "Good night, honey." And also, have you noticed you're turning into your mother?
Well, at least she goes to bed angry.
Exactly. But the big question the psychologist did not address: if you do go to bed angry, the two of you, instead of spooning, do you knife?
You definitely don't fork.
No.
Or scissor.
True. There's a whole drawer's worth of things that are not happening.
Yeah.
You don't screw.
What were you going to say?
I said, glad someone else said that one.
You don't screw. There's the screw. You don't do that. No hammering. No nailing. Oh.
Honey, hammer the tenderizer.
Paula, this week we learned about a new way to deepen your friendships. Instead of hanging out at a bar or a party, you should do what together?
Not hang out at a bar or a party. You should till the land.
Talk to each other?
Make the earth yield up its fruits.
That's a thing that's happening now. People are getting together to till the land.
Till the land.
Gardening together.
It's actually, you're kind of on the right track. The idea is, like, instead of going out and doing special fun things, you should get your friends together and do.
Free things.
Manual labor.
I'm going to give it to you. Chores.
I love doing chores
errands.
together with
Really?
other people.
Is this something you like to do?
Yeah.
So, because you are like, as you always are, ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Social trend-wise.
Yeah.
The new study says that if you really want to bond with your friends, which we all know is the key to happiness, is having a good social life, you should do boring stuff with your friends. Researchers discovered that people, quote, consistently rate common daily activities as more enjoyable when they're interacting with somebody else.
I mean,
so you enjoy it more, you bond, it's great,
Absolutely. I am on the cutting edge on this. I often have friends over to help me trim the cat's claws.
Really?
Yeah.
What part do they play? Because I've had cats. Somebody has to do the clipping, and someone has to kind of hold the cat's paws. What do you do?
Well,
what do you make them do?
Well, we go back and forth. I don't like to hog the fun part.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing about cats clipping their claws. And I can't do hind claws. I can only do front claws.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Well, I think if I may.
The front claws are on the front paws.
I know that,
If I
Paula.
I think Joyelle was trying to say, what is the difference besides the obvious one?
I don't know.
See, that's why.
That's why.
That's why you did that.
I would just think it's as simple as you don't want to do the hind claws because you don't want a cat's butt in your face.
No.
If you care about that, you don't have
So how many cats do you have, Paula?
11.
You have 11 cats.
How many friends do you have?
Counting the cats?
Oh, we had to go there, did we?
I think those two numbers are intimately related.
I'm alone a lot, Peter. A lot.
A woman with 11 cats is never alone, Paul.
Coming up, it's Lightning Fill in the Blank, but first it's the game where you have to listen for the rhyme. If you'd like to play on air, call or leave a message at 1-888-WAIT-WAIT. That's 1-888-924-8924. You can see us most weeks back at the Studebaker Theater in Chicago, or you can catch us on the road. We'll be in Costa Mesa, California on November 6th. For tickets and information for these events and other things we're cooking up, go to nprpresents.org. And if you like our show but wish it was about 59 minutes...
Is a Studebaker a really attentive pie maker?
minutes shorter, check out our TikTok at WAIT
Someone who makes
NPR.
soup in the oven.
What?
Someone who makes soup in the oven.
Studebaker. A Studebaker is someone who makes soup in the oven.
Hi, you're on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Hey, Peter, this is Lydia from Seattle, Washington.
Hey, beautiful Seattle. I love it there. What do you do there?
Well, I like to be outside as much as possible, just like everyone else here. I
Yeah.
like to hike and backpack, all the things. And when I'm not doing that, I work at a conservation agency where we protect wild lands and waters in Washington State.
That's a great thing to do. It does occur to me, since you are, of course, you're right, everybody I know in the Pacific Northwest loves to be outside all the time. Does it ever occur to you to take advantage of that and just rifle through their homes?
You know, I don't get paid very much at a nonprofit, so maybe I do need to do
I'm
that.
telling you. Lydia, welcome to the show. Alzo Slade, filling in for Bill Curtis, is going to read you 3 news-related limericks with the last word or phrase missing from each. If you can fill in that last word or phrase correctly in 2 of the limericks, you will be a winner. Here is your first limerick.
Since the elderly life is so plain, silver snorters speed up a slow brain. When hair looks like snow, we get down with some blow. Yes, we old folks are doing
cocaine.
Cocaine.
Cocaine, yes. According to data released by hospitals
I
in
get
the UK, the number of senior citizens abusing cocaine has risen by 1/3 in recent years. It's true. That's why the last time you visited your nana, she asked if you were cool and wanted to get the party started.
Okay, so I think what it is that it's the people aging in to old age who just still have party habits.
I mean, they have to explain Steve Tyler somehow.
Right. I mean, you're getting, at this point, you're getting the boomers, the tail end of the boomers, who were really the partiers of the boomer generation, and Gen X. And Gen X was like, that was their drug of choice. It was split, 50-50 between cocaine and heroin. But like, when you think of the excesses of the 80s and the sort of the Gen X over the top, it was a lot of blow. There was a lot of yayo in that.
They blew it.
Huh?
They really blew it.
They really blew it. And then they blew it again. And they blew it again. And again.
A lot of
to quote
things that were done that had budgets that included that as a line item in their production budget.
Right.
Because everybody that was involved was doing this. So
Right.
You know,
You needed
just
to
because you're
account
not the
for it.
movie star.
As Rick James said, cocaine is a hell of a drug. All right. I just wanted to touch on how it's what I think is happening there. Why I think that cocaine use in the elderly is going up. It's because the people aging in still have the habit.
You're saying nuns do it?
Oh my gosh.
What?
So you're saying that nuns are responsible?
Well, nuns that never lost the habit.
Exactly.
That explains why I heard somebody refer to a bump as a wimple the other day.
Oh my gosh. So instead of a $5 bill, it's like a rolled up
$100 bill, yeah.
Good for them.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah.
I would do lots of drugs then.
Right. If you've hit a certain age,
What the
you're
hell?
like,
What are they
this
going to do
is-
to
What's
you?
the point?
Cocaine is getting so popular among older people that there's now a term for them, silver snorters.
Yeah.
And somewhere an executive at NBC just had a great idea for an amazing Golden Girls reboot. Here is your next limerick.
Stone cold sober, and yet we feel brave. Music stumping, but not in some cave.
Rave.
No more dark clubs at night. We dance in the light. And hot coffee gets served at our
Rave?
Rave, yes! Coffee raves are the latest trend among international party people. They're exactly what they sound like. Parties with DJs playing loud dance music, but it's in broad daylight with shots of espresso from the barista over there instead of alcohol at the bar.
And you know, I still have to do the hard version. Because when I do my daytime rave, I still have to do 5-hour energy shots. Coffee rave. Psh.
They just
I
go to
have
show.
a terrible idea for you. One that
What's that?
I thought of earlier. Would you possibly be able to brew up some coffee with a drip?
I mean, I'm sure you can. Huh. There's a way to do it.
I mean, I've heard of people making coffee with the pre-bottled caffeinated water.
Oh, yeah, that was good. No, the best way to do it with the drip, actually, honestly, the best way to do it would be to take the tincture and put it into the hot coffee, the already made coffee, just drip it into the coffee, because drinking your coffee with extra oil is actually really good for you, apparently.
Gotta get the lubrication in there.
Right? But the other thing you could do, and there was a conversation about this had at the Hidden Leaf yesterday, actually, is decarb your flour, grind it up, and put it in the filter with the coffee. And what will happen is you'll end up with sort of an extra greasy cup of coffee, but it will be a good cup of coffee. Like, you'll still get a cup of coffee with the THC and probably a decent amount of the terpenes. the THC won't bond to the water. It will float on it. That's why you'll have a greasy cup of coffee. But it will, it will do it.
But if you're someone that puts things like milk in your coffee, then it might bond to the fats in the milk.
Yes. Yes. And you can conceivably infuse milk to put in your coffee. It will also bond to the sugar if you put sugar in your coffee. Neither of which I do.
I know how to make vanilla bean sugar. I'm not sure that I necessarily need how to make THC laced sugar.
It actually, now that I think about it, wouldn't be that hard. But also, I have the honey from Kush Gang. So the thing is, like with the drip, like the reason I have to shake it up is because the distillate doesn't bond to the waters in the drip. Like it just, So the chemistry there of getting THC into coffee itself, questionable. But delivering the two at the same time, there are easy ways to do that. Would I put drip in my coffee? Oh, hell no. It is way too sweet and way too fruit flavored to go with coffee for me. Nah, hell no. Zigo985. What's up? All right. Question to you. How would you best get THC into your coffee? That's what we're working on at the moment. I do think infusing milk or butter. What a question. I don't drink coffee. All right. Both of my co-hosts don't drink coffee either. Neither Kat nor the Peanut Gallery drink coffee, so there you go. Nice. We're in Virginia. Crystal, yeah, you drink coffee. We're in Virginia. The Old Dominion. What state are you in? Oh, the other state I'm in is one of being high. Well,
no.
I wouldn't say
I live in a
high.
state of
I'm
confusion.
buzzed. Huh? Yeah, you live in a state of confusion. With heavy sugar and cream. Then, yeah, Crystal, I would infuse the milk. Infuse the cream. There's gotta be a way to do that without having to repasteurize. Well, you can repasteurize. You could repasteurize the milk. And as it cools down, repasteurize it with distillate or with flour in. I've got to think about this. Use powdered creamer. I would just add distillate powder to your powdered creamer and your sugar. Ooh, that's the other thing. If you get liquid, if you get RSO, the edible RSO, you could probably soak sugar in the RSO and use that. But all of this is completely hypothetical because I think YouTube wouldn't like me coming up with these ideas for use. They're all completely hypothetical.
Not for home production.
Nope. These are all just hypothetical ideas. All right, let's get back to the show before I implicate myself further.
It just goes to show it's true. You really do need a few drinks to have a good time.
Can't some of those old people sell cocaine to these
Why
days?
not? Yeah. Sober people, unsober people, they all love these morning coffee raves. One fan called them, quote, very nice.
My roommate used to go to those.
Really?
Yeah, they would do them on the Sunrise in New York, and
Of course,
that's
New
why I didn't
York
like
did
her.
them.
Here's your last limerick.
My dreams don't contain a cursed doll. No, I'm haunted by suburban sprawl. There are multiple floors with extinct anchor stores. My nightmares all feature a
mall.
A mall, yes. Thousands of people are connecting online over having the same recurring nightmare about being trapped in a mall. This mall in their dreams is impossible to get out of because even if you can find the dream mall directory, the "You Are Here" arrow just points to your bedroom.
No, that is weird that more than one person has that nightmare.
Yeah, well,
That's
they
weird.
think it is. The users connect in a subreddit called The Mall World, and they share details of this terrifying space that they all visit in their dreams with levels and stairways.
I think
and
it's
no
more
way out. They are
terrifying that they all
convinced
visit the
that
same
despite the fact
one.
that none of these people have met in real life, they are all dreaming about the same mall. Because really, seriously, what are the odds that they all have a Nordstrom and a Hot Topic and an Auntie Anne's?
Are all these people from New Jersey?
Also, how did Lydia do in our quiz?
She did great. 3 out of 3.
Terrific! Congratulations!
Nice, Lydia.
Well done. Lydia, thank you so much for playing.
Thanks so much for having me.
Take care.
Support for this clinicians provide.
This message comes from.
Now on to our final game, Lightning Fill in the Blank. Each of our players will have...
All right, you all ready?
Sure.
I'm ready. I'm not keeping score, but I'm ready.
All right, I've done my math. There's my pointer.
seconds in which to answer as many fill-in-the-blank questions as they can. Each correct answer now worth 2 points. Alzo, can you give us the scores?
Of course, Joyelle and Paula are tied at 2, with Peter in the lead at 3.
All right. So I'm going to arbitrarily pick Joyelle to go first. Here you go, Joyelle. The clock will start when I begin your first question. Fill in the blank. On Wednesday, Israel and Hamas agreed to the first phase of a plan
Ceasefire.
to end the war in blank.
Oh, Gaza.
Right. This week, the Vatican announced the dates of the new blank's first international trip.
The Pope from Cleveland or Chicago?
Detroit.
Detroit, the Pope.
Chicago.
I said
Please.
Chicago.
You did, and then a number of other cities, but it is Chicago.
I was in the vicinity.
On Wednesday, California passed a law banning ultra-processed foods from being served in public blank.
School.
Right. This week, the 2025 Nobel Prize winner for medicine said she blanked when the Nobel Committee called her.
Choke.
Fainted?
No, she did not pick up the call because she thought it was spam. On Thursday, doctors in China performed the first ever blank-to-human liver transplant.
Pig?
Cat?
I'm going.
Pig.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, after her sister asked fans for their prayers, country legend Blank had to release a statement saying, no,
Dolly
she's
Parton.
fine.
Dolly Parton.
Yes. This week, a town in the UK had to take drastic action after a blank started terrorizing citizens there.
In the UK?
Snake?
UK.
A white man in a white wig.
No, a horny swan is the answer.
Oh,
horny
boy.
swan. According to locals, when Reggie, the Australian black swan, first showed up in the town, everything was great. He got along with the other swans who lived there, even became a bit of a local tourist attraction. Sadly, things took a turn for the worse just a few weeks later when he started trying to drown all the other male swans in order to have the females to himself. Terrible news for the birds and for the people in the town, but great news for England's only swan-focused true crime podcast. Also, how did Joyelle do in our quiz?
She got 4 right, which gives her 8 points. With a total of 10, she is now in the lead.
There you are, Joyelle.
For now.
All right, Paula, you are up next. Fill in the blank. On Tuesday, former FBI Director Blank pleaded not guilty to lying to
James
Congress.
Comey.
James Comey.
Right, for the first time ever, the price of blank reached $4,000 an
Gold.
ounce.
Gold?
Gold, yes. This week, members of the Texas National Guard arrived in blank.
Portland.
Chicago?
Yeah. On Monday, the White House directed FBI employees to urgently search for any records related to the 1937 disappearance of blank.
Amelia Earhart?
Right. This week, Weber State University's annual conference on censorship was canceled after presenters refused to blank.
Be censored.
Exactly right. On Wednesday, theme park giant blank once again raised their admission prices.
Disney.
Right. On Tuesday, Cristiano Ronaldo became the first billionaire player in the history of blank.
Football. Soccer.
Soccer?
Yes. This week, a street performance in India meant to warn people about the danger of stray dog attacks was interrupted by blank.
Stray dog
A stray
attack.
dog
Exactly right. Pretty good. There are so many stray dogs in Kerala State, the government commissioned a theater troupe to put on a play about it because, as we all know, theater is the most efficient way to communicate with the public. That's why we haven't had a single witch trial since the Crucible. And this is true. When the stray dog, walked on stage during the play about the danger of stray dogs and bit one of the actors, the audience thought it was part of the show and applauded for the dog.
That guy playing the dog did a great job.
He really did. Also, I think Paula did really, really well.
Paula got a lot, bro. She leaves it with a lot.
There's a lot.
She got 8 right for 16 points with a
Wow.
total of 18.
Wow.
That puts her way out front.
You didn't
for
miss
the
a
lead.
one.
She did not miss one.
That was remarkable. All right, then. So how many does Peter need to win?
Peter needs 8 to win.
Here you go, Peter. This is for the game. On Tuesday, President Trump suggested he may withhold back pay owed to workers affected by the blank.
The shutdown.
Right. On Monday, renewables overtook blank as the world's biggest source of energy.
Overtook like oil and gas?
Yeah, fossil fuels. This week, a man was arrested in connection with starting the Palisades wildfire that burned through blank early this year.
California?
Right. Under pressure from the White House, the Justice Department has indicted New York Attorney General blank.
Letitia James.
Right. During an interview celebrating how he was turning 100 in just 2 months, Dick Van Dyke said blank.
I regret everything.
No. He said, quote, it would be pretty funny if he didn't make it. On Monday, electric car company blank unveiled cheaper models of their 2 most popular cars.
Tesla?
The one that makes those dumb trucks. Tesla?
Yeah. According to new data, tariffs have greatly increased the cost of blank costumes.
Halloween?
Halloween?
This week, a man who was ticketed for talking on his phone while driving had the ticket voided because it turns out the phone was blank.
It was an
fake?
Altoids box.
No, it was a candy bar, and he wasn't talking on it, he was eating it. Man was pulled over by police. They caught him talking on his phone while driving, against the law there, but he said he wasn't on the phone at all. He was just eating a candy bar. And it would have worked, too, at least until his stomach started ringing. Also, did Peter Gross do well enough to win?
Nope. Peter got 6 right for 12 points, total of 16. Paula is the champion.
In just a minute, our panelists are going to predict what will be the controversial song on Taylor Swift's next album. But first, let me tell you all that Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is a production of NPR and WBEZ Chicago in association with the Urgent Haircut Productions, Oahu Doug Berman, Benevolent Overlord.
Hey,
Phil
Maddie.
Pajotica writes our limericks. Our
Good
public
to
address
see
announcer
ya.
is Paul Friedman. Our tour manager is Shana Donald. Special thanks to Hutch and Leslie Hutchinson for all their help this week. And big thanks to the staff and crew at the Blaisdell Concert Hall. BJ Liederman composed our theme. Our program is produced by Jennifer Mills, Miles Durham Boston, and Lillian King. Special thanks this week to Blythe Robertson and Monica Hickey. Peter Gwynn is not
No
here.
worries.
Emma Choi is
No
our
worries.
vibe curator. Technical direction is from Lorna White. Our CFO and absolute road dog is Colin Miller. Our production manager is Robert Newhouse. Our senior producer is Ian Chillock. And the executive producer of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me is Mr. Michael Danforth. Now, panel, what will be the next controversial song by Taylor Swift? Joyelle Nicole Johnson.
Come clip my cat's toes with me.
Peter Gross.
A song destined to anger Chiefs fans called Tush Push, Fly Eagles Fly. I want to jail until it hurts.
And Paula Poundstone.
Well, it's either going to be tight-fitting receptacle, change purse, or tiny box.
Well, if any of that happens, we'll ask you about it on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Thank you, Alzo Slade. Thanks also to Peter Gross, Joyelle Nicole Johnson, and Paula Poundstone. A very special thanks to Valerie Yee and the entire staff at Hawaii Public Radio, and our fabulous audience here in beautiful Honolulu. I'm Peter Sagal. We'll see you next week. This is NPR.
Is NPR.
This message comes from Capital One.
Well, all right. Yeah. You missed most of it, but that's okay. It was I feel like today was sort of an unofficial episode because Kat missed most of it as well. So, but you made it for at least a little bit, and for that we're very thankful. We love seeing you here. And the scores are, I came in last place with 31, and Chaotic Techno Wizard, aka the Peanut Gallery, came in with a solid 38. And Kat didn't play. So that was today's episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. There we are. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Zygo 985. Yeah, Zygo 985. Thank you, Just Be Crystal. Thank you. Yeah, that's everybody. Yeah, thank you, Maddie, for showing up at the last moment. We appreciate that.
Lurkers.
Lurkers.
Thank you to the lurkers.
And much love to the lurkers. There we go. That's everybody. My gears are grinding there at the last part of that, trying to figure out what the rest of the out was there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Much love to everybody. And now is the time on the show when I say stick around for the raid. We will be raiding out to, I believe, DJ Margarita Mel of the... Yes, Margarita Mel of the Sunday No Pants Raid Train. And now is the time on the show when I say, gosh, I got confused there for a second. When I say 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces, we're out, y'all.
that Secretary Clinton or her colleagues intended to violate laws governing the handling of classified information. There is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information. For example, 7 email chains concern matters that were classified at the top secret special access program at the time they were sent and received. Those chains involve Secretary Clinton both sending emails about those matters and receiving emails about those same matters. There is evidence to support a conclusion that any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position or in the position of those with whom she was corresponding about those matters should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
Okay, it's my understanding that when an investigation is closed and there's no charges made, that all the FBI is supposed to say is case closed, as opposed to characterizing the person who was investigating or, describing errors that they made along the way. So why did you decide to describe her and others as extremely careless and to characterize them in further ways that you did?
Yeah, that's a great question. It is absolutely the normal practice that when we complete a criminal investigation, the Justice Department finishes and there is no statement at all. Sometimes there's a statement that we're finished. Sometimes just the person being investigated is notified privately. Sometimes nothing is said at all. But there are occasions, and this has been a long tradition of the department, where the Department of Justice's policies acknowledge that the public interest demands more than that. And I was making this statement in an effort to demonstrate to the American people that we had done a competent, honest, and independent investigation, and there was no there. And I believed, and reasonable people can disagree about this, obviously, but I believe that without transparency and some level of detail, that the credibility of the conclusion would be undermined. And accomplishing the goal of showing the American people, look, we did this in a fair and independent way, we'd fall short of that goal if we weren't honest about what we found in characterizing it. Again, that happens very, very rarely, but it happens when it has